My sideways. How does this one work? It's the way we've been going. Been going this way. Which way am I? How come it's not sitting so good? It's like I never sat at this way before. You know, it's pretty weird. Whoop, just putting a pencil in front of it. I haven't been on at all. Not going to stay very long. It's just that I was working on a piece. Always working on a piece. Always working on something. So I'm just coming here sort of more to vent than anything else. I feel like crying sometimes when I open up the Vine, the wave, you know, and I start to know there's so many connections, so many numbers that have not met their territorial ground. Which means I'm not fully capable of explaining every single number. I can just show you where the algorithm comes from. I want to go back to the way it used to be. I went forward a little too quick, I think. Where do these algorithms go? What are they used for? They don't exist for nothing. The reason we only have 9 numbers, why didn't we design something else? Why didn't we look at that? That's number 10. That's number 11. Look at that. That's number 12. So we went to 9 and then we just jumped the rest over it and we put all the alphabet a little bit different. So when we went to 10, 11, and 12, although we mark it, right, it's marked as a combination. So what's going on in 10, 11, and 12? What's the story? So I'm writing this little thing out. This is what brought me on. 3 letters, CAN. 3, 1, 5. Okay. 315. Look at that. 315 in one corner. They're the only ones holding the dot. Only ones holding the dot. Let me see if anybody's here. And you can say no big deal. I'm just going to repeat the same thing over again for the beginning of this video. I have to be here as if nobody's here at all. So therefore, I'm going to miss your comments or anything that you might say. Since there's no button for you to raise your hand, you know, it says there are like 500 people that join and leave, but so let me continue on. Since there's no button for someone to raise their hand, and if somebody speaks or if somebody writes something down, then maybe you just shouldn't right now and just write down on your own paper what you might think of asking if you're here long enough to really try and grasp what I do. Why am I here, right? Why am I here? Oh, I had this new picture I wanted to, I was just going to post it now. Just give me 1 second. And I don't want to talk too much. So why are you here on this channel? Have you ever been here before? You ever been here before? Why are you here? Trying to see. Yeah, I think I like this picture in the background here. Has anybody ever seen this picture before? Yes, so just give me a second. I'm trying to see if I can come up with that picture. Same thing, right? Same thing, right? So when you look at it, the X, take a look what's going on. Okay, it's like we got the échafaud. See this two pieces here? I think I'm going to put it up on my computer and work it, turn it around and see what it's actually trying to look like, right? The singular line is showing you the area center space. The other one is the angle. Remember that what I work with, if you don't know what I do your first time here, hi, Wadak, how you doing? How you doing? How you doing? This, the magical calculator, undeniable. Whoop, I just made something disappear. I work with a calculator. What do you hear on this page? Who's on this page? I'm going to lose myself in the translation, what I've began to say. I might lose my way in the traffic of information that might be going through my mind at any one time, that I should veer off by any noise I hear, any ting or ping or anything at all. I will then be talking about something completely different, but everything will be just like as if I just hit a wave and just went on to another, just onto another communication network where the phone just automatically, the party line just got cut right off. And I was talking to Sam and I'm going, hello, Sam. And they go, no, it's Betty. I go, oh, Betty. Yes, I remember. That was so great in the House of Bait of E.T., right? The divided house of bait, balancing out the two houses. That's why I came on here. I was talking about, I just did a little teeny weeny video, right? I saw somebody with a beaver. Oh, I hope this came out good. Yes. I saw somebody with the thing says, we always win championships. It said Canada, USA, final. And I think it went final overtime. The score was 3-2. That's between communication, between those who hold the key to the seventh gate, CAN, and USA. So what do I do? What is that? What is that? These are, can you call them the characters, the emojis, right? What do we call these? Are they letters? Are they messages? Why would this be any less of a message? Okay. Why would it be any different than a message of this? Why can't this be the same as this? Why do I need to design all of this when I can just design this? Tells me about a passing gate into creation. It shows me there was a heart. It shows me it was through the seventh gate, they put a heart. Either you went the Omega and you went around it and you were the knight in shining armor. So why do I need this when I just created this? And you look at this and everybody laughs and they go, look at the new logo. What does it look like? But what does it say? Look at that dimension of this logo. So you can see this line in the logo, and we all know the logo, right? And you notice they have the blue one, right? So we have to understand what I do is I like to use things that help and guide me. I cheat. I use what the science lab says. And they said blue is this. And this is how you make blue. And this is what happens with blue. And you get blue gas. And then you go to the periodic table and you look up everything that you could find to understand blue. And then I spell it BLUE. And I go, great. Wow, I got the light. I got the hue within blue because in human, I have the same texture of content of letters. So now I have the light within the hue. Okay. I also know that I run the light, okay, by the same cycle of the moon. Now, it doesn't necessarily mean I move off the moon, but in cycle of the moon running off the 13 moon sun in order to get to the next year with 1.25 days left over, or 5 times 5 times 5 is 125, depending on how the ocean structure, okay, that's the movement of the ocean we need for adjustment. The ocean of space, right? Imagine, what do you do? And now we've got the Jello Ocean for the fish. We have the Jello Ocean. And then we have the carbonated waters of space for the birds, for the mind to pass through and pick up the information within the space. It wasn't X, the 24th letter, the dividing gate for C creation. The greatest you can have, right? Alpha, beta, and then creation of 260. Alpha, beta, creation of 260. That is going to be that the second half of the alphabet, N counting all the way to Z, equals 260. It's 13 letters that average 20 per letter. Unlike A through O, unlike A through M equals to 91, which gives me the 7 average per letter. Now, I just want to fall on the floor and cry right now. I just want to fall on the floor and cry because I see so much more. Way so much more. It's crazy. There's a lot of combinations, okay? Even the word Leon, Noel for Christmas in French is Elon, okay? The reindeer represents, okay, what is representing 14, which is home, which is king, 41, which is the passage to the cat, and 5 and 9. I'm going to get and show you all of this in a minute. Now, remember what we're doing. We're looking to understand the numbers. Then the numbers pick up certain words like reindeer on the Canadian quarter, CAN. The nickel, okay, on the American nickel and the Canadian nickel, they both look like beavers, but backwards, I look at it as October, November, December. All the burrs equal to 25. Okay, 25, what's 25? It's a sentence to life, a life in the ocean. This part over here is the ocean space, okay? Or the buoy that connects the ships together. The two ships, you connect them up together. Take one ship and two ships. You take them and you hook them up together right there into the ocean. You don't need to call that the ocean. We can use this as the buoy plugged into the ocean. This is the energy, and you just plug into the energy and boom. Now you just have the rest of the oceans in the area space to see if the center one is bigger. See, the center one is bigger? It's going to stick out. What's it going to create? If I make that any bigger, what does it create? I don't know if I have big enough inside of this to show you, right? Will it show you the Star of David bringing the two hearts together? Then we have the wings. Anyways, I don't want to make it look like, okay. So now we took the beaver. And of course, I'm going to contort some stuff. Because in Spanish, they take the B for a B, a V for a B, and a B for a V, as far as I understand. So it's now a Weber. So now it's telling me, when you start off the word like this is life. This is Taurus, also can represent Aleph. The upside down A without the line, meaning below the water line. With the line in the A letter, right? You can use it as the equator line. So what is that equator? If they divided the night and day, what does that mean? What does it mean to divide the night and day? Wouldn't you think that the shadow, when you cut a plane or a circle in half, the shadow separates the night between the day? So wouldn't they be saying, I'm going to take away this area space and create an area space for life, for the day life, and open up one half of the area space? Anyways, I don't like to speak just hypothetical. I'm just going to speak about the beaver right now. The beaver is 5 cents, also represents a seventh gate. A beaver goes underground, okay, to go and sleep. So it's protected from those who can't do this feat. So the beaver have their own protection underneath the water, up above, underneath in the water to get into their house. So what does that say? What does that mean? Okay, just a trend of thought. I brought November, December, September, October because they all have BER within the word. December happens to say sky pass within it. It also talks about full communication within Capricorn. Full communication within Capricorn. I'm also going out on the limb and call it Taurus, as well as having the life within the gates. I'm going to explain this to you. Just let me show you why. The 22nd letter is life. The reverse is in the E world, communication. 3 and 2 is 5, and 4 and 1 is 5. The 1 and the 4 is the 1 for the split house. Okay, the 4 is for the 4 houses it was split into. Right? The 4 houses that it becomes. The platform, and then the 3 houses over here. When you put it together, it looks like this. So you have here, this one on top, then you have this one on the bottom, and then it plugged up to this one over here, where it becomes, look, 1, 2, 3, 4, where it was just where it was just 1, 2, 3. And 1, 2, 3. So this makes 6, 4, 6. Is that what it ends up making? Where's the 4? Anyways, this becomes Jacob. Part of what I see is Jacob's ladder, 4, 6, 6, 4. It's the Fed, the Federation. That's where the numbers come in. What it means, who it might help, I don't know. I'm just bringing to you the numbers. So just give me a second. So I did this short video. I'm going to play it. First of all, it was this. Okay, we always win And it was the person here was Beaver. It said tap the Beaver, and then I said point after, right? The point after the point after is after a touchdown. Point after a touchdown. So I'm thinking location. The P is for the seventh gate. It's within creation. See the TAP, 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 tap. What do you think they're telling you here? The AT is a location. When you send an email, it's 21. It's the entire cube. The P letter is the 16th letter, right? Talking about spirit, talking about the church, talking about the three gateways, because in the letter P, because of how the Hebrews count their words, where they jump over they jumped over. They went, instead of going yod, okay, hey, okay, they go yod dalit, and then they go from yod, which is the 10th letter, and talking about the fourth letter equaling to 14. They all of a sudden went down to the 9th letter, skipped over the 5th letter, right? Skipped over the 5th letter, okay, and then went to the 6th letter for the vav. And I know that's the opposite side. So that only tells me one thing, that yod hey is the ocean. Yod hey is into anything that's living, and all area space, the air we breathe, is the rest of Aleph Yod Hey. Using up all the elements, bored itself into every single element, that you can't go anywhere without it, like American Express. Maybe that's why it's American Express, AE. You can't go anywhere without it. It's a glove. Wouldn't that make the most sense? Don't leave home without it. Well, how can you leave home without it? It's here, and it's everywhere you go. Now, the question is, in this, also to understand what it is in communication, part of the cat's life, not the dog. The dog doesn't seem to have any trouble at all. Somehow, I think the dog is a direct plug-in, unlike the cat. Cat, I believe, is a little territorial when it leaves its place. Not all cats, right? Not all cats. But my cat don't want to get into anything I ask it to do. The dog is not so hard, but the cat, I put the cat in the car, and cat don't want to go. Why doesn't the cat want to go into the car? Why does the cat not want to take a drive? Now I'm thinking the feline doesn't want to get in the car with you. You're trying to grab the cat, they drag the cat into the car, and the cat doesn't want to come. And how do you know? Right? Because before you go to grab the cat is meow, meow. So why is the cat calling out? Like, what is the cat saying? What is it saying when it's meowing? What is it saying? What is it putting into the vibration? Why is it such a distinguished vibration? What is that number that it's putting out? I think that's a number that I have to study. And since I can't study and find everything, I share with everybody how I do it, then you can do it yourselves. And then one day we can all come back and show our results, or create a program to put all these numbers and algorithms together on what they actually do. And I started with the beaver over here, but I actually started with Jacob's ladder from Elon Musk. Right? Now, are these turning around each other? Are they parts of DNA going up the ladder? And you can see what's happening here, right? If that was only spinning this way, or is it spinning this way? As it's going up the ladder and spinning this way, it's able to read everything that's going up both ladders at the same time. And it has a focal point, right? Right over here, it's going to meet right over here. And they're both going to know what's going on. They're both going to be spinning the same thing exactly, each one of them on their own. They'll meet right over here, so you can see this little cube that comes down here. I'm not sure if it's for corrections or what, and then it'll spread up to the top. This is only one dimension. So, right, Is it the beaver house? Is it this the beaver house below, or is it above? Is this mean anything at all? Is it inside of us? Is it part of our chakras? So we had the quarter, which is the reindeer. The reindeer, I like to relate it to Santa Claus, who goes up the chimney. 41, 1/4, right, is 41. One quarter, okay, is also 25 cents. It's also 15. Whoop. It's also whoop, 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 whoop. Reindeer, 74. Eh? Reindeer, 74. Jesus, 74. Energy, 74. Messiah, 74. Muhammad, 74. Beast, 47. Time, 47. Bull, 47. The oxen, how close to the bull can the oxen be with no blemishes? The oxen, the bull, the heifer. The oxen, the bull, the heifer. The bull, the oxen, right, and the heifer. They also have the Taurus line in this. They're just bringing up, I mean, all these animals. Which way? What are they actually saying about these animals? I'm just putting a little story together for myself. So where were we in this calculation? We also have 5, which is, you see, when we get the 9 birth, we also get the 5 beaver, the nickel beaver. Although the beaver, 23, 45, and 6, 51, 53. Wow, it's 51 and 2. Wow, we're talking about moons and we're talking about Mars. We're talking about connecting up to Mars, the Mars moons connecting up. And you know where that is? So I like to look at it like here. The numeric value for this place, okay? I think you have to bend over to look at it, right? Here, if you take a look at this is a K creation. It fits along with the letter P. P has 3 7th gates connected to it. P is the 16th letter, and we spoke about this before, okay? The thing about the P is it's going to be Tet Zion, and it's not going to be Yod Vav. Yod Vav and Yod Hey have been switched over for Tet Zion and Tet Vav. Now, why would they do this? Why would they do this? Why does anybody know why they would do this? Why would the Hebrews say, instead of saying 10, why are they saying 9? So if they don't want to say 10, I'm going to call 10 Capricorn. So the reason I relate it to this is those who study astrology or astronomy or the zodiac, I need, this is not something I'm going to ever complete alone, for never, never, unless we need a balance the way those who understand their algorithm for whichever reason and how you came to be, whether it's a good algorithm, whether it's something everybody agrees on, we're going to find reason with why eventually. Okay, and we can strengthen the understanding of that reality once we can understand the multi dimensions of the numbers. And all numbers have a huge dimension of three. And that's why I believe most of the, like Gigi once came out and said, Gigi33 said, well, I'm about 67% correct. And I go, that's absolutely perfect. I said, you have to leave out 1/3 because you don't understand the rotation between everything. We're running our fire season, right? Every fourth one. The fire runs by 44. 44 is Abraham. 44 is running everything in thirds, meaning fire, Aries, fire, Leo, fire, Sagittarius. Then we ran into Earth. We went Earth, Taurus. Then we went Earth, Virgo. And then we went Earth, Capricorn. And then we went Gemini. We'll take a little bit of air with Gemini. The air is number 3, right? Gemini is the third. It's the 10th reversed. JC, like Jesus Christ, will take on the air of Gemini, reverse it to Capricorn. We get the Capricorn Cap. Being the 10th zodiac sign, 1, 2, 3, 4 equals to 10. So is 9 bigger than 10? Ask yourself that question now. Is 9 bigger than 10? The original addition of 10, right? You see, this is not 9. When we up to here, this is 45 over here. When you get to this number over here, I split this area here. According to the numbers that we were taught, everything ends on 3. To make things fair and square, everything ends on 3. When everything ends on 3, to make 3 things fair and square, there's something always to go and to share, and it's the noyau, it's the heart. Because the empty space over here, it's 4 and it's 4 areas. 4 areas and 4 areas. That's fair. Now there's an empty space that when you come together, you have a place to share. 4 and 4. There's other understandings to look at with this, but we have the bottom 3 over here, which is a corner. Okay? You have the bottom 3 a corner. So once you duplicate it, okay, you have a total of 6 sides. You have a total of just 6 sides. Look at that. 6. That's all you have. 3 and 3. Fair and square. Now on each side, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. You have a total of 9 areas on each side. And in the 9 areas, you're encompassed by 1, 2, 3, 4. Understanding the same schematic, the 4 corners, okay? The 4 areas here will now take up corners. They'll be the 4 pillars. Everything else will be played inside. But instead of it 1 over here, you'll have 1 here, and it'll say 1 here. And it'll say 3 here, and it'll say 3 here. Having these numbers are just building blocks to understand what we do with our numbers. Then we bring on a greater schematic, the cube, the numbers, the alphabet, and how we'll scale up the alphabet. When we reach 10, what happens? I'm just going to mark J for 10. Noted that 0 just hops right in with J, and then it goes back. Because we know what 0 is, right? 0 is 64. It's the passage of the inside the house. The word 0 is 64. It'll create 10 and 24. It's the passage between the seventh gate. 3 and 4, Earth and Mars. Then we get the next one, K, that's 11, where you bring two split houses together, right? The ace letter splits into the ring on the outside. Then there's the whole inside of where the ace is, right? Just spin the ace like the protractor. Inside of Aleph. Is it the horns of Aleph? Is this the horns of Aleph, right? Is this the horns? The horns of Aleph? Right? Like we're spreading out the house, but we only go to a certain angle and we spread out one house and then we square it off and then we create another house. We make above and below. But would you think it's above and below this way? Or is it above and below this way? Or is it above and below this way? Saturn square shows us it's like this. Therefore, what I'm going to do is in the deck of cards, the 3 card shows you this. But on the dice cube, it shows you this. So what happened? What happened? Did they tilt the house for life to tilt the oceans? Is that what they did? Is that how they give it life? By just tilting it and creating an extra area space, a life path? Where was the center before? I'm going to tell you this for a reason. That once you have a center here, there's already a life path. If I take it away, the life path goes in between. You're running on the line. It's a dead line. Crossing straight across or on line is a dead line. We can almost see how these cubes, maybe these cubes fit over here. Maybe they're spinning in between the x's cube, because this is that 3 creation, right? See the way it just fits right in there just perfectly? Something for the future. Not everything I do today. Some stuff is just brand new. Just want to check see if I have a message. I'm waiting on a call. Whoop. Maybe if I plug it in, I'll have a little battery left over. You know, the word enterprise. I should write this down. I'm still not finished with this, but I'm going to write down the word enterprise. And what I believe is really going to help this work, like there's 3 major languages that will help this work. And one of them is Spanish. The other one is French. And then from those who can speak the French, a little bit of Spanish, then we're going to get every other language that connects to another language and where we can vibrate, okay, what's going on and how if you live wherever you live in the world, there's going to be another language, and how you speak with your broken tongue, that language will bring the numerical understanding of the words closer together. Will the words be spelled properly? Can we create English in every single word? Can we create French in every single word? One thing that we can create is nuts and bolts, machinery. So we would have to go down to electricity, machinery, architecture in order to understand the words they use when they're building, so we can get a better structure on the evaluation of the numbers used for the word. Here in Canada, we say house. The French say maison. In the word maison, it tells me the son of May. May, the month of May, the 5th month, the sun is number 48. 48 represents Pluto, represents within its word itself, the spirits, represents both the church and all the 7th gates within the steeple that we live. Why do I say P16 is all the 7th gates? Why do I call P creation? The reverse alphabet, okay? The reverse alphabet of P, okay, is K. The reverse alphabet of P is K. Now, if and when I convert the alphabet to a new configuration in which it'll be the alphabet 360, the alphabet of creation, 360 degrees. Now, why is there 5.25 days left over after 360? Why is it 13 by 28 equaling to 364 days? Why is 91 times 4 equal to 364? Why is 13 by 7 equals to 91? Why, if I add up 1 through 13, it equals to 91? Why, if I add up 2 through 13, equals to 90, which is what is 9 and 18 and 27 and 36? Why is everything so perfect and that I can remember exactly what it is? Because it was made that way. It's and bits and pieces. Well, how am I going to climb all the way up there? And all of a sudden you get to a certain place and go, wow, a place to rest my foot that I didn't see before. The creator, okay, believe it or not, if you didn't know something was there, it might just be put there now. Maybe it was never set there before. If you sent a drone to find it, maybe it didn't see it, but now it's there. We are so freaking connected. It's just like cuckoo. It's too cuckoo. But I don't want to go on the limb and give any words, just the numbers, what they're doing and how they arrive so perfectly at the other number. And we're using 13 for bar mitzvah. We can't find Orpheus, right? We can't find it. Why are you looking for something that's within you? Who are you? Well, I'll tell you one thing. The first day I met, oh my God, so beautiful and round. And he was a skinny guy, but there were lots of them. They were like all over the place. What's my name? My name is 19. What's your name? Well, I'm 71. So when the moon, the cycles of 13, 76, 16, 42, and 13 equals to 55, where you receive your sky pass to go down to minus 13 equals to 29 through the sun into the IT system. I'm going to explain this right now. I'm getting out all the numbers, writing it all down. You split the egg, you split the house, okay, you divide up, and you go in for communication right away. Right away. I'm trying to see if I have this piece over here. I hope they don't take me down for this. Does anybody know what's going on here? This is how you came into life. There was that skinny little guy. He came all the way in. He saw the round lady and he split her in half. He created a heaven within. He joined the two hemispheres to come with inside the heavens, the holder of one. 8 and 1 coming together. When you bring the oceans together within the heavens, you have connected from your mind, creating within one your own heaven with inside the egg, bringing the little skinny man all the way up to the top. And you get crowns as Orpheus, bringing the 66, bringing the parliament together, 66. Look, we're born a minion. We're born a minion. From two, we create one. Born a minion. So let me take this off. It's bugging me. How do I take the background off? Yeah, so we create the freedom minion. What is this? When you bring the 6 zodiac signs and the 6 zodiac signs, this side and this side, you create that seventh one. You king it. You king it over here. 557. Freedom 55 through the seventh gate. The egg, the sperm, Virgo comes in to this over here. Virgo comes in and Pisces. So now Pisces comes in. Look at that. We get land animal through Pisces. When you split it in half, when you split the, I'm only working off what we were taught. The stories I tell are only from what we were taught. I don't make anything up. Here's the 180. Two houses, 180, 180, 360. There's a split, a gap between the two. You split it here, okay? You split it here at 90. It splits at the gap. You call it the 5 gap, and then it splits again at 90. In fact, you can call them all the 5 gaps, okay? You can call them all the 5 gaps. What is this round over here? The 90 and the 90 zone. Okay, perfect, perfect. They show the 180 across. I always call it the 180 across and boom. But when you spread this out, it's more than 180, right? The 180 becomes what? When you put them all next to each other, at what point does it become 1.5 times? I think that's what it is. I think at 120 degrees, it splits and this becomes 1.5 times. I have to remember that configuration. So let me see where I am over here. Okay, so let's go over this slowly. So we had the 360 degrees, or sorry, let's not use degrees. It takes 1 and 2 before anything is created in my game, in this game I play, in understanding numbers, before anything begins, 1 and 2. Aleph, the Hebrew letter Aleph, they call it the oxen. If it's the oxen, it must be number 2. So 1 occupies an area space that takes up area space here. It splits the area space with its nose and takes up area space over here. So that area space gets chomped out all the way down for the oxen. And then we come into creation. So your ABC, your gold, your silver, and your bronze all belongs to the Creator, the point of the Creator. And then from that, we get the base of creation through 3. 3 through 4 is a corridor. Everything is only 3. 1 plus 2 plus 3. Equals 6. When you add the 4, it becomes 6 and 4. The word Zion, the word 0, the word Israel is all this. Half of this is 23. 46, okay, was the split. 23 is a split in the chromosomes. And then 46 was the 23 and 46 was a split in the presidents, Grover Cleveland and Donald Trump. As the 45th and 47 is another split. I'm going to have to show you where I found this. 45 and 47, first of all, is for yellow. So we have to look up for those who know things. See, this is a channel for those who know something about something else and nothing about what I know. If you talk about colors, and I mention a color, I'll give you a number. If you know something about that color, we'll find out its dynamics. We'll find out the algorithm of what it is. If you tell me there's a different cut, a different angle, or a reason for doing something, a number that goes along, we'll find out the analytics about it. We'll get it into the program, and we'll start to learn a little bit more about the numbers. And then we'll be able to have like a transition where we can now learn about the words. So we're learning about the words that are teaching us about the numbers and where everything is used. And every time they create every time they create a splice in something, they, even though it's not for our benefit, we're going to benefit from it because now we know something we didn't know before. And a lot of you already know this. A lot of you know this. You know, I was watching some stuff on, anyways, whatever it is, I was watching some stuff. They were talking politics, and I said, you know what? They keep putting together these people for these parades or whatever it is, right? These parades getting together, and I say, listen, if they can put 300,000-400,000 for a parade, you know what do you call that? You know, when you protest, right? Yeah, if you can put 300,000 to protest, why don't you just sign them all up for a new political group and that's it? I don't like to talk about that here, but it's about making sense. This channel is about trying to understand and make sense of the way I think. And sometimes I'll bring up the way others think because maybe somebody can help me understand a little bit better, right? It's like the discussion about whether the earth is flat or not. Do they know deep down it's not whether the earth is flat or not? It's about all the differences that they're finding to put that together to better understand those numbers that will bring them up to a higher level rather than wasting their breath. I find it so just ugly to just waste your breath. And I mean, I do it. We all do it. We need to do it. We need to vent, right? Now, my number one fan, well, that's me. So I have to think about fan of cooling down at the same time. So yes, so this over here, 1 + 2 + 3 = 6. When we equal to 4, right? When we add 4, it equals to 10. That turns everything all over to the other side. So it becomes a corridor. 3 becomes a corridor to 4. So you have 6 and 4. You have 60 seconds on the clock. And then we have 40 for 100% of the time once it's flipped over. But note that when it is flipped over, right, a full time, that would be 60 seconds on the clock and 60 seconds on the clock. So we would need 200. So I would need 200% to equal to 120 seconds, which would equal to 2 minutes. And the importance of this for me is that pass go, okay, it's 2 hexagons. You know what? I like all my color pencils, but I really like these. I have some of them still 20 years, you know, and they're like the Castle ones. They're just, and there's this other one I also like for different reasons. I use them all. Yeah, here's this one. So if somebody wants to send me a box of these, of 24, I like the blue, the red, the green, the yellow, big time yellow user, right? Big time yellow user. Oh, this one's also pretty decent. It's a different kind. It's got this at the top. I think it's a lighter here. Oh, yes, I'm a big orange fan. Pluto, Harley Davidson. Big time Harley Davidson. Remember that, okay? Big time. Let me tell you one thing. From the beginning, okay, if I had to bring somebody to my service door, if I created a world, right, when in this game that I play, the savior of the game is going to be the Harley Davidson and all the bikers. They're gonna come here and they're gonna be in the final chapter of this program I'm running in this game, right, of numbers. I bring Harley Davidson in at the end. Burnt orange, Pluto, burnt orange. So where else am I? Yes, oh yes, I love this. This is one of my favorites. Look at that. I got like, I don't know, some plastic, right, to What is that for? Does it have to be changed? When does this have to be changed? Is there something that every so often some piece or part has to be changed? Maybe this is one of them. Maybe if they don't change it, maybe we end up with a, I don't know, with a solar flare or I don't know. Okay, so yeah, so I said pass go. So this is what I put up for pass go. Pass 55. You know what? Well, first we're going to go where the ball ticks, right? Where it ticks in balance. Then we're going to go to the center of the ocean, right? Right here, the IT system, matter, energy. We're going to go to the half area space. We're going to go to the halfway house. See this over here? We have 2 seventh gates, one here, one here, one house here, one house here, and then a giant house at the top. I'm not sure if it's the 2 lower houses that were split, that were in, or is it the 2 higher houses? Let me see if I can find, and I'm going to get back to the beaver. Yeah, I got a lot of stuff here. Okay, let me look at my pictures. Give me a second. Okay, give me a picture. Don't make everybody wait because you make me wait also. Come on. Yesterday there were 3 of them, and now I don't see. Oh, there it is. Yes, right over here. See, I'm not sure if we're living in one of these 2, okay, or we're living in that central, or would this be us living between these 2? So I just asked my question, which way does the 7th gate work? So here's number 7. Remember I said P was 7? Well, P is the 16th letter. Inside a P, there's a 1. Okay, the O-N-E. Let me just do this. Let me get this out of the way because I brought it up before and I brought it like all the way. Let me see. The P is the 16th letter. The number 1, okay, equals to 34. The number 6 equals to 52. So both 1 and 6, right? 1 and 6 equals to 34 equals to 52. They are the holder of the encompass of what is 1 and 6. They're the same doorway. They encompass every single number within their path. They are 2.5 away, what makes everything bigger and smaller into Earth. They own the Capricorn rock with the 7th gate. Number 16 can also look like number 91. Although it looks like a 6 over here, it also plays multiple roles. It goes to sleep. Actually, in this one, it's awake. In this one, it's asleep. When it's awake, the 2 and the 5 are up, right? Should we call that Taurus and Leo? But when it's asleep, we have Earth and Mars at the top. Each one of these, when we have Venus towards the 7th gate, we have Earth and we have Mars between the top and the bottom. When we switch it this way, you see we have 6 and 1. So we have the 3 7th gates between the top and the bottom. So now I have to understand, should I just plug it in, right? Is it just a plug-in, right? It's got to be plugged in at least on one side. If not, just one area, right? Just one area that gets plugged in, right? But look at it. If it gets plugged in one area, right, it's still taking up 2 sides. And it's going the distance, 3 by 3. 26 and 1 area spaces, 13 and 13 encompassing 1 area space. The Mayans had a 260-day, I don't remember what it is, but if you show me and talk to me about it, I'm 99.9% sure we're going to find, in fact, I'm just going to go out on the limb and say I'm 110% sure we're going to find something that matches it. The numbers always match up. There's always going to be a difference. Oh, you made that up. We were off by 1, but you just threw 1 in. We were off by 2. You just threw 2 in. I'm going to tell you right now, I'm going to be off by up to 3, and that's it. I'll never be off more than 3 because I reduce everything down, okay, by 3s and by 4s, okay, by 1s, by 2s, by 3s, and by 4s, because that's the basics of the makeup. And then after that, I don't need to do it by 5 because 2 and 5 are the same thing. Anything that is multiplied by 5 in Pythagorean understanding or the way they can look at things is they reduce things down to a single digit. In numerology or in life path, they don't want to reduce from number 11. Why not reduce an 11? Is it because it's a 3 and an 8 11? Is it a 2 and a 9 11? Is it a 4 and a 7 11? Is it a 5 and a 6 11? Do you think there's an answer for this? There's a story for it for sure. What I understand is we are the alphabet creation. So we become the heart of all the 11s. We are the horse. We are the receiver of the wolf. We are the receiver of the 2 moons of Mars. Whoop. Whoa. Okay, I haven't been looking at any comments. I'm going to go back and take a look. I have to go back and take a look. So first I'm going to say hi. Hi, I saw Southern Likes. I saw Phil. How you doing? I don't know who's still here. I'm on my rant. I need to complete my vision from this morning. That's why I popped on. I'm still feeling under the weather, but that's okay because I don't know why it's okay. I just accept everything as it is. Do I need to make corrections? Right? Do I need to make corrections? I'm not going to ask the good Lord because the good Lord's within me. We live in the oceans of creation. The oceans of creation. Yeah, 46, very, very big number. The 46 is the same hallway. The dollar sign represents Mars. It represents the divisions of Mars. And if you take a look at the little hook that's on the one, take a check at the angle. It's going out to a distance. It's pointing towards the north. Well, at least for me, I understand that it's pointing towards the north. The dollar sign should be on an angle. When you're using square paper, this is what's going to happen. I have to draw it exactly like this, leaving this. If I drew it the other way, I can only draw it this way. There's no center. This is a heart position. I've been getting like these crazy calls, right? And you know what's crazy? I know I shouldn't even say that because that doesn't make a difference. Somebody keeps billing me for something when I, like over a year ago, and they claim I now owe them because I never took the product. Right? If you can't pay for the product, then don't take the product, then it's over. But now they say because you didn't take it, now we're charging you because whatever. You said you were going to take it. So let me do this, and this. So yes, it's a distraction. This is the number 5. This is the number 5. It's also the S. When drawn on this angle, I can run these lines through it. So if you're going to make an X, is it also telling you about this? Is the Twitter sign telling you about this? And don't forget, Twitter, right, was Twitter, right? It's part of the connection between 43, okay, within the house. It's a connection with inside the house. It's a connection with inside the house and something to do with the sun system, okay, with the 4 areas that are connected together and Earth. This is going to be Earth. It's also going to be, I like to look at it as your retina. The R letter is going to consist of 3 areas. This is going to consist of 1 area. This is going to consist of 4 areas where it's located within the ocean, right? Communications within the ocean. Where do I get the E ocean? The base of creation, okay, is ABC. C creates a corridor into D. When C creates a corridor into D, we no longer need A. A is played inside E. A is going to be what is a split house. A gets a split house. It creates a window. Creates a window. You have one side of the house. You have the other side of the house. There are 2 dimensions in this house, 2 base dimensions. Both equaling to 360. Perhaps the reason the half day is 720 is to understand that we move in both houses at the same time. One will be 4 by 90 degrees, the birth house, okay, our 4 seasons, but we're actually running through the trinical house, the 3. This is where the hockey game comes in. Everything with 4 quarters, 4 parts times 3 is 12, 3 parts times 4. The upper realm within side of us is 6. Within side of the house of us is 8. This is how they double it up. This becomes 8. This becomes the hexagon cat. This becomes the octagon dog. So we end up with these numbers. So here's all your 11s. Nothing happens until creation, right? 1 and 2 have to come in to create 3. Remember we were going through the 11s? There is no 1 and 10. The J and A is because when it's the J, it's the A has been split. The A is like take a knife and then split the cake in half. Now move the cake over this way, move the cake over this way. Well, that area space where the cake was, now it's an empty area space. You just cut the cake. Now, did you cut it in a pizza way or did you cut it straight across? If you cut it the pizza way, you cut it towards a number 5. If you cut it straight across, you cut it towards a number 1. If you create a number 5, you create a gateway between 6 and 8 because you created divisions between the 2 sides. Now, how close to the center did you cut it, right? I'd have to actually just show you. And was it a bun cake? Because a bun cake has the circle, the ocean that's in the center where the hot air can pass on through and cook it evenly on every single side. Oh yeah, if you're into the kitchen cooking, you're included in this. If you're in the laundry room washing, you're included in this. If you're nailing something to the wall, if you're a plumber or electrician, you're included in this. If you got a high school diploma and you're the smartest person in the world, that don't make a difference. Because this is all basics for the children so that it's fair, so that we can learn from everything that was fair in life. Well, obviously, what's not fair in life we also learn from that because it shows you the difference. So we have to know all aspects, the good and the evil. So I want to go back to P just to get some stuff out of the way. P is the 16th letter. We're going to create this P, okay, using a 9 and a 6. Sorry, we're going to use a 9 and a 7. So I just want to see something. 9 and 6. So, okay, yes. So with 9 and 6, I have 15. The Hebrews didn't want to use Yod Hey for 15, so they made me go to the 9. Why did they not want to use the Yod? Is it because the Yod is the Capricorn and I'm wrong and the 9 is not the largest? But the 9 is actually smaller than the Yod, the 10? The 10 is the assembly of ABCD, the capstone, the header of a page, the tombstone when you lay to rest. The header bringing all three sides of 666 and 99 together. Is it 2 times 9 or is it 999? Is it 3 times 6 or is it 666? Or is it 3, 3, 3, 3, 3? Or is it 9 twos? 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2. Is that why we have 2, 2, and 2? To understand the twos? We know 8 times 222, right, is 1776. We know that it takes 4 twos to create 8. We know it creates 8 ones, right, to create 8. So 4 and 8 come together. This is our base creation, right over here. 8 times 1 and 8 times 2. I want to do that. 8 times 1, sorry, and 4 times 2. Equals to 88 for our 88 constellations. Now I can bring more elements into that, but I'm not really sure. So now when I do 3 times 2, it equals to 6. When I do 2 times 2, it equals to 4. Do notice when we go in this direction, everything moves by 2s. When we go in this direction, everything moves by 4s. Now, is it speed? Did something get contorted? Is this showing me that I need to create dimension because this side is 2 and this side is 4? It also, when you multiply it and add it, it creates 6 and 8. 6 and 8 will separate. It'll be the separation at the 7th gate. Okay, the cube, the game of cubes. Let me go like this. Show me the game of craps, the table layout. See, everything splits. See that? 6 and 8. Why did they put 6 and 9 here when the opposites of each other is 6 and 8? Why are they writing it out? This equals to 52, 7. This equals to 42, 6. In the spirit of 76, the 7th gate lies between the one that is born. When you look at this, right, do you know what you're looking at? You're looking at 5, 9 over here. Roman numerals. Right? Roman numerals, this can look like a 5, right? Square it out. So either it's S9, which is birth, because it's X minus 1 is 9, so don't look at 6 the same way. I like to call this the birth between the cycle, N and N is 14, into the E world, I before E, right? Except after C, the 9 birth, okay, into the electronic world, into the world of oceans, océan. So you have 2 times 4, 2 plus 4, 8 and 6. The next one is 5 and 9. The next one is 4 and 10. That's your communication. So we take a look over here. We have 5 and 3. Whoop. Let me see if I can do this properly. Hold on a second. So we have 5 and 1. And then on this side, the opposite is the 8. You have 6 and 2, 8. Look at that. It's the 2. We didn't come into the life until we hit the 3. So it'd be 3 and 3 before we come into life. And what's the opposite of that? 4 and 4. 4 and 4, 3 and 3. Isaac, and Abraham. Isaac and Abraham. Now, the thing about this is, in the spirit of 76, right? In the spirit of 76, do you know who you end up with? Ishmael. Ishmael. You end up with Ishmael. And in through communication, you end up with Isaac. I like to say you end up with, see that? You can create two in one. You can create either the U, which is double gold. You can go A, U, U, or you can go Ola, A-U-L-A, which can be the golden winged one. Or you can go Allah, A-L-L-A. At the same time, you can't go, because what this is, or becomes, or where it comes from, (1331), the 33 creation, the 33 void, the three sections, this cube. Has anybody ever seen this before? Has anybody ever seen this? I'm just trying to go up on my... Just going through the comments. You know, there is definitely large pizza. It's funny because again, in the terms that we use, we have bambino, we have small, we have medium, we have large, we have the extra large, and then we have the jumbo. So you see what they had to do? Instead of saying I want a number 2 pizza like in size or whatever, they went and they used small, and we use the same thing as when we go medium, and then we go rare, and then we go well done. So I'm trying to think well done. It sounds like I'm welding something and just roasting it until there's no water left into it. So that's also part of the numeric codes, which I'm still working on. So let's see if we can get back to end this piece off. We were talking about the 11s. So now I have to show you this. Here's your freedom pass, and here's your 1 and 1 to the 2 different worlds. So is this 12? Is this 6 and 6, 12, the zodiac signs to get you 1 and 1? You bring them together with your 13. Also to note that if you're a Libra and a Virgo, we can resplit or connect the king or the crown onto your zodiac sign between Leo and Scorpio, which is all going to extend at the extension points of what is Cancer or communication points and Sagittarius. We can also convert this. We can call it the rabbit and the goat. So we'll have to take a look on how the rabbit and the goat fit together. I already see something, the rabbit and the goat. I know the 7th letter and the 9th letter. The 7th letter starts off on the left. It's part of the rotation of the system we live in. And who's rotating? Well, the 666 rabbit ears, the one that's connected to it. Us, we're connected to those rabbit ears, right? The Mars moons has 2 moons. The Earth moon is a ham radio. It's a pig. Protect that pig, protect the swine. Yes, this one of the strongest numbers in numbers. And I was doing this before when I went down to the skinny sperm looking to split the egg into the house, right? Getting into communication through Pisces. So we had the egg 577 coming into the 7th gate.
We had the pig at 977. What's at the other end of 577? That's right, 977. To be born on the 277th, October 4th of 277. It should be 278 within the gateway of the power. It's actually 277, 278. It becomes October 3rd in a leap year. But then there's an extra day added on for that. I just want to mark them both down. I like to keep them both down. Because if it was January 1st, that day would be the 278th, but it would then be October 3rd of 1921, 1942, 1963, 1984. Let me see. Let me get this down. 21, 42, 63, 84, 05, and 26. So that would be 26 would be 63 years. So that would be the end of that cycle, of that JC cycle, October 3rd, 2026. Why I'm saying this is because Earth Mars 103. So you would have to go and look up the first and the third letter. Look up the first. So we have Aleph and Gimel. We have A and we have C. We had AD, now we're back to AC, the completion of, and the house playing within AD. And now it's AC. That would be back to Jacob's ladder. Where does that come from? The cube is 21 dots. 2 cubes is 42. 3 cubes is 63. In order to make your first square of these cubes, these 3, how many do you need? How many do you need to complete this? 3. You need another 5. You need 3 and 5 to create this. So you add 1 more, you have 4 here, you have 8. You need the 1, and then you need the 8 to complete your second kind of cube. This one will fit into the Earth cube, and then there goes that one. I'm not sure if I'm explaining this properly. Hey, look at that, eh? Anyways, not going to explain that. I don't think we're going to get offline with what I'm explaining. We spoke about how the P creates all the 7th gates. I'm going to get right back to that again. P, we played it with the 9, okay? We played it with the 9 and the 7 to equal to 16. 9 and 7. The 9 is a gateway. We're not going to use 10 because the Hebrews don't. The word 1 equals to 3 and 4, 7. The word 6 equals to 5 and 2, 7. We have all the 7s by creating them. Now, since we have 1 and 6, right? Since we have 1 and 6, since we have 1 and 6, we also note that there's area space that's empty. And we spoke before. Oh boy, this is so confusing because I've been talking about 10 things in between. Every side is 9. Every single side is 9. So if you see 1, there's 8 missing. If you see 1, there's 8 missing. If you see 6, there's 3 missing. 3 and 8 equals to 11. In the house of Beit, through the 7th gate, the living, you see that? Right here, you're living in the oceans. You're right here. You're living in the E-world of all 9. That is your birth into the house, living by the 7th gate. Oh, let me just put that over here. Your birth is right here. Here's your 2, okay, of your total of a 9 face. Here and here are 2 faces. Each face is a 9 face. You're going to have 2 of the faces. In the heavens, you'll have 3 of the faces. When you have 4 of the faces, you have the ring. When you have 5 of the faces, you have the ring, and you have the standing pole to the plug-in. Now, maybe not plugged in here, maybe plugged in somewhere else. right? You have what is over here. This is the power. This one over here, guess what? This one over here is gorilla. The yeah, this one over here is monkey. This one over here is gorilla. This one over here is create the king. We're going to cap the king. 5 times 6, 5 plus 6 is 11 and 30 equals to 41. Remember that number. Each one is going to tell you something different. There are 7 months of 31 days, of 4 months of 30 days. It's 313 for the cycle. It's a 313 cycle. 3 and 1 equals to 4 and 3 equals to 7. The movement, okay, the movement of the locked in signs for the mutable zodiac signs. So you have Gemini, Virgo, Sagittarius, Pisces, right? You have 3, 6, 9, 12. Pretty easy to figure out. 3, 6, 9, 12. Now we're going to go. See, we have multiple perspectives. Now I can learn all about what they're talking about, whether I believe it or not. I want to know what drives it to be that. So if you're doing zodiac signs, try to find a better understanding with this. We know that Gemini is 3 and Sagittarius is 9. Virgo runs on the inside. The 2, 4, 6, 8 run on the inside. They have a different connection. It's an even, right? It's all the double valued letters. It's even. Mutable signs, weaknesses. Gemini, Virgo. Why does it keep giving me the same one? Let me see what they're doing here. Aries, the ram. The ram is for communication within the 2 houses. In fact, there's more than one head on the ram. Right? When you have your computers, how much RAM do you have in your computer? I'm trying to figure out where the... So look at what they're showing, the way they're showing it, right? They're showing it as a spectrum of 4. When you're looking at the fire sign, right, they're showing it at a spectrum of 3, right? Fire, they split up the zodiac. They split up this one. They split up this zodiac in 3. They split up the fire, earth, air, and water in 4. Do you follow what I'm saying? Let me show you. Let me show you. Remember, I still have to get back to the reindeer, the beaver, which is the nickel, because we're sailing away the 7 seas. We're sailing away on the 7 seas. There's a gem in Gemini. A Gemini, I like to look at it as 7, 5, and 4, connecting the oceans to the houses, the 5 and 4. But for some reason, I'd have to understand a little bit more about the sun, because the sun and the moon are both within this one. The M is going to connect up all the moons. The M is the 13th letter. It's going to connect up the 6 and 6, 12 zodiac signs and connect us with that line in the center. It's going to connect the ocean, the Taurus between it. The E is the ocean. The 7 and 5 are the first 2 letters. So now what you want to do is look up all the 7s and the 5s. So if the 7th one is first, does that mean it's connecting all the 5s across? 7 by 5 is 35. How do we have the 7 seas? Where do we have 7 oceans? Because that's what it's telling me about 35. The only thing I have with 35 is your birth student. It is Yo. 3 by 5 equals to 15. O. 4 by 5 equals to 20. T. So when I do this, I'm going to have to go to this board over here.
because I instead of looking through my books, I took pictures of everything, right? So now I got to find the pictures. I found one of the pictures, but I want to find both of them. Bear with me. You know, a lot of it is in the art. I'm a little upset at myself that I've been like vegging out in front of the and this computer is so slow. This, I mean, it eats me up, you know, to sit there with it. I'm gonna have to take another one of these pictures to look at it again. Yeah, we still didn't talk about one thing we're gonna have to get back on is this also. Letter distribution, right? We have to go through the letters. There's 12 E's. There's one Z, but then there's the value of each of these I've been working on also. Look at that. The I, there's 9 I's, there's only one J, right? We know what we have to understand all these divisions. And look, there's G, we have 3. Do we have 4? Do we have 5? Look at that. Nothing has 5, right? Because 5 has it all, right? Look at that. 5 has all 12. There's 26 letters there. And they split it between. So now, you know, here's another thing we can do. N and M, 27. O and L, 27. O and K, O, 15, and L, P. So when we're going to connect them, I'm going to connect, let's say, the N. I'm going to get, look, there's 8 between them. And then the O and the L, there's 12 between them. The P and the K, there's only 3 between them. So we have to learn about that. I told you that's your base of the 7th gate. It's creating a gateway itself using 2 and P is the 3rd, and K, right? So P and K, they reverse. So the Q, 17, right? You're 17. Remember Q is 17? Well, look at that. They're both one. Split house. So this is the way it's all going to connect. So if somebody wants to take on this project, first of all, you can break it up, right? Break it up to where you stop at M, go to G, you go A to M, put G in the center. You go N to Z, put T in the center. If you want, we can flip it upside down, bring Z and M together. The 26th and the 13th, bring them together and count it backwards. We end up with 15 at this end. We end up with 39 at this end. The other thing about this is I don't like this alphabet anymore. This, okay, this whole alphabet between here and here, if we splice it apart and put a chip in between, if we don't, I'm going to have to interlock when we come up to the last number. I'm going to have to interlock, but I'll show you that after. But the minute I split this up here, I'm going to have to split it up here. No, that's what happened. That's what happened here. The minute the cross went on here, it went on here and here. These 4 were all together. These 4 were just having a good time. They put the cross on this and split them all out to the corners. So it might have been just 1, 2, 3, 4 all together, and the cross came upon. So it's just a question I ask. Yes, the cosmos as well. Well, where's the cosmos, right? It's just a section of. Would you not think that the cosmos is where the chaos is, and we keep gaining area space and splicing the cosmos into our oceans, right? And then splicing, understanding how the cosmos works to make sure there's no explosions within the cosmos itself. We created all these tunnels and energy tunnels in order to live with the area space, right? And according to space, how big are we, right? So reaching through Gemini, right? Gemini is you know, once it's picked up as a 3rd zodiac sign, I'd have to go back and start at Libra and expand from Libra all the way to Gemini. So I'd have Libra, which is the breath. I like to look at Libra as the breath of the balance between 1 and 5, although it's the 7th zodiac sign. As I understand, the 7th zodiac sign passes between the 2 moons, creating of what is the one passage through B. So it's actually C for creation, your base C creation. Do you understand where the scales end up? You might be scaling
like this, the seventh zodiac sign, your scales, they hang all the way down. It's not here, the scale, where Leo or Sagittarius is. Is it here where, where Scorpio is? Is it over here? Okay. Is it where Cancer is balancing out with Capricorn? Is that the one it is? No, it's, yeah, Capricorn and Gemini, or Sagittarius and Cancer, or the balancing would take place. 414. I'm just trying to. Anyways, I don't have an answer for that, so I'm a little off my scale. I just went off my scale. I'm a little bit all over the place. I want to get back to what I've missed. So let's get back to what I missed, and I know a lot of people will leave because I've been all over the place for the last 2 minutes. So we have 1, 2, 3 equals to 6. The maximum 6. Once you get the 4, the next one, it turns everything over. There are only 3 sides to the cube of 8 sides. Even if I turn this into a puck, I'd have 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 sides. If this was a puck, it would have 6 sides to it, right? If it has 6 sides as a puck, 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 6 sides as a puck. I occupy, there's an empty space here. I now occupy the area space. So 3 opposite sides gives me my total of 6, right? But the occupation total is 27 area spaces, 3 by 3 by 3. Although there's 6 sides to this, there's actually 27 area spaces, the house of bait. A, B, C equals to 6 and 4 equals to 12. Equals to 10 and 2 equals to 12. This is going to relate to the blue in pool balls. Where the 2 in pool balls come in. What's going on with the blue and 2 in pool balls? So now we have the 10. The 6 and the 4 are now going to occupy that 10 spot. Sky, okay, I wrote sky, okay. It was for pass, go. Pass, 55. Go, 22. 77, look at that. 22 minus 55, or plus 55, 77, Christ, power, matter. Pass, 55 minus 22 equals 33, mass, Christmas, in pass, go. It's 100% and 100%, okay, of 60 seconds on the clock gives you the 2-minute penalty in hockey, where hockey split up by 120. Right, the 120-second penalty minute, the 2-minute penalty. We pass over, when we pass go, we pass over the Baltic and the Mediterranean. Terrain equals to the land, the land of the sum of the sun. This one over here is 13.5. It's going to get me the orange ball. It's going to divide me the alphabet between the M and the N, between the 13.5. Between the E and the M. The E is going to be what is A and D, and what is B and C. It's communication between the sun and the moon, the M and the N, the connecting worlds. And I'm saying this, I'm going on the limb. M is the 13th letter. 13th letter, M is 1,000. 10 by 10 by 10 equals to 1,000. This is why I'm saying it. Also, I call it the star. 1 and 9 is your 10 crossing. 3 and 7 is your 10 crossing. 4 and 6 is your 10 crossing. You will have 4 different ways to do this, but you'll have all these other 10 crossings other than the 10 boot. So there's 40 plus the 10 boot of creation. The lower world, call it 10. Call it 3. The upper world, call it 30. Call it 3. Call it 11. Call it 2. Now I'm going to tell you why I said that. There 30 over here in the word 3 is 56. 5 and 6, 11. 1 and 1 is 2. But just call this area 30 for the addition. Call this 10. The lower world is 10. The upper world is 3 times the amount. Just waiting for a phone call, so... Hey, what's up?
Okay, I'm gonna go start my car and I'll come down. Okay, very good. You'll tell me stories after. I'm just doing my live for 10 more minutes, then I'm coming. Oh, okay, that's good. Ciao. Yeah. So yeah, sorry I got I'm always off on my trail, you know. So we have pass, we have go. The 22nd letter is for life in the E world, right? The oceans, even though we're not in an ocean or we're in a lake, what about the 70% water that's in us? What about what we walk in, the air we walk in? I call that the ocean. Call that the ocean of space, call that the air, call that the aether, call it whatever you want. We're still walking on the lands. The lands have hundreds and hundreds of thousands of bridges. The land is upon the water, which is upon the land, which is upon the water. And our air, well, our heads are out of the water. We're born into the nine face. Every single one of these sides, every single side is nine, nine, nine. At the same time, every single side is nine. There's a total of nine. Add them all up. 1 through 9 equals to 45. Every side equals 45. 3 side minimum before the turnover, 135. 135 and 135 is this cube. Thing about this is it's 26 cubes times 6 times 45 equals to this number. 720. Is that the Merkaba 720? Right? 3 times 6, 3 plus 6, base creation, 1 and 2 is 3. 3 fits with 6. Why does 3 fit with 6? 3 and 6. We need that to complete. Creates this number. Now what we're going to do is we're going to go 27 area spaces times 6 times a number that fits with the moon, and 291 fits with spirit. 61 is church, 91 is spirit. 62 is the queen, 26 is the game, God, right? And there's also this element in between. One of the bricks is created over here. Here we have a singular brick. A singular number can go in here. If I'm going to put all these in a row, I can create a number sequence through the understanding of these areas. I can fit one number under here. I can put 2 numbers here. So anyways, regardless of that, where was I? Just give me a second. Wow, what brought me to that? Yes. 27 areas times 6 times 9 equals 1,404. Oh, 1,458. Yes, 1,458. Okay, 1,458. The day before the end of the cycle. There's 1,461 days to a full cycle. Stop 3 before, right? For the last half. You stop 3 before for the last half of the cube. What is this number? It's 27 area spaces. We're going to do it 27 area spaces times 6 times, I think it's 9, 1,458. But now what we're going to do is we're going to use 26 used area spaces times 9 times, look, our vibration, times 6, 1,404. 1 area for 4 and 4 areas directed from space or the ocean. The oceans of space. Now I'm going to do 45 times 26 times 6. So we get that one, and 27 times 6 times 45 equals, and then we get this one. Check this out. Check this out. Check this out. We have one Rubik's Cube. Every Rubik's Cube has 9 to a face, but forget about the faces, okay? It has 8 corners and 12 on the inside and the singles.
That's 26. The 27th area is the center. So it's 3 by 3 by 3 cubes, equaling to 27. Every single cube has 6 faces. Every face, okay, is going to have a value of the calculator. 45 is 7290. Divided by 9, divided by 9, divided by 9 equals to what? 7290 divided by 9, divided by 9, divided by 9 equals to 10. Earth diameter, I think, is 7920. 7290 divided by 2, divided by 7290 divided by 2 divided by 5 equals to 729. 9 by 9 by 9 equals 729. Yeah. 9 by 9 by 9. What is 9 by 9? 3 times 6, 3 plus 6 equals 18. 1 and 8 is 9. 3 and 6 is 9. 99 comes from the base of creation when bringing 1 and 2 together. So we spoke about, I'm going to go back again. We spoke about where the 11 was. Now, the thing about this calculator, right, is that we have 3 and 8, 9 and 2, 5 and 6, all 11s. We're only using 6. We never use more than 6. According to the games, we can use these 3. We can use these 6, right? We can use these 6. I can use these 4, but I can't use these 6. According to the game of roulette, I can't use these 3, 6, these here, without doing it either this way, putting a single chip onto each one, putting one in between the middle of them. If I put a chip here, it's 8-1. If I put a chip between the two, it's 17-1. 1 and 7, okay, reverses the J. So the gateway between 2 will be Q and J. Over here, it's going to be 8. It's going to use up 4 areas. It's going to be 8-1. The reverse of the 8th letter, H, is going to be the S. So we're going to have to understand that. We put it right on, it's 3.5. It's the heart of the cube, straight on, paying 35-1, 3.5 times 8, equaling to the brother. So we understand this. There's 4 cats to equal to a dog. The dog's number is 26. The cat's number is 24. I needed this to create the shape of the octagon dog to the hexagon cat to the 24 hours in the day, because I need 4 cats. So I need 24 and 8. This I'll run into 90 minutes. This I'll run into 3 by 8 is 24. I'll run the 120 minutes like I showed over here. Let's see what else we had on this page. We had Santa Claus, which is noted to be the reindeer, which is the quarter. But the quarter also represents 25 cents. 25 cents, or if you're looking at its time, it's 15 minutes, or we're running at Mars to Earth time. 25% of time is 60 minutes Earth and Mars time through the birth gateway into the oceans of creation. 41 is king. When we join up everything together, we become the one, joining up that zodiac sign into our communication. We have A and G and A and F. A and G is the silver. It's already been divided up. We can see 28 days in the moon. A and G represents silver. When we count the alphabet A through Z, it equals to this. Look at that. This is going to be Aquarius with Pisces coming together, which is going to bring Aries, Taurus, Gemini, and Leo in between it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, just add them up, or the total of this is Sagittarius is brought inside here. But the main one here is dividing the energy of the sun. We spoke about the beaver, which is the nickel. That when you run into the quarter houses, we have 2 dimes and a nickel. We have 25 pennies. So to understand what is 25 pennies, the one who was sent, they call the penny in French, they say le cent noir. The one who was sent is black. The one who was funneled in is black. The one who was connected together is black. They're talking about the negative connection, the black connection, the negative. They call it black negro, right? Negro, the big nose. At the same time, negro, something that grows. Communication in negro is also 420. 420 is the communication between the four houses. 420. In French, the expression for 420 is 80. In the word 80 is the word cat. So it's the communication network of the four houses. And even in the word communicate, you're already saying the universe of 8. They're not saying, there's no T. Yes, the T is at the end. So when the AT comes together, they're communicating within a location. AT and ATE, when you add the E on to the end of the word, it becomes female, according to the French. When they add letters on EES, or in English, if you're adding on ER or ES, there's an expression for it that if you bring me an English teacher to explain this, what I do as a project is I bring things to light, and then I need all those in their schooled field to help bring the fairness back to understanding whether it's fair or not. As long as we understand the difference and why it was used, we don't care if it was used for the good or the evil. We just have to know that it was used because the information is all pertinent. Twitter had 3 T's in it, right? So we did the hot dog. We talked about, yes, back to the Hebrews again. Yod. I'm gonna have to take back what I said when I thought Ted, right? When they're saying Tet, right? When they say Tet in Hebrew, I'm taking that back. I'm gonna have to use the Capricorn, right? The first major 4 that created anything. But the reality is there is 9. Do I go with one wing, the lower house of 10? Why we need dominion? Or should I say I needed all 9? What do I do in this situation? We do know that 410 is communication, right? Well, I have 6 and 4, I get 10, I get my communication. I can get my 6 in the lower house. I can get my 5 in the lower house. I can get my 5 in the lower house, my 4, my 5, my 4, my 5. I got my 6, I got my 7. So I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5. And then I got 6, and then I got 7, and then I got 9, and then I got 7, and then I got 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 again, and then I got 8. So I have all those numbers. I'm trying to see everything I can get in my lower house, right? Even 10. So do I need to go and add this wing onto the house, or is just having these 5 good enough for creation? So I'm just going to have to ask myself that question. Did I need all of these for the expression? Well, I had to come into the life. Could I have existed without having the rest of these numbers? Well, within these numbers are created. So that would be the answer to the question. Yeah, I'm going to start my car and come back. Just give me 1 minute. I'm going to finish off with another 15 minutes. Just give me 2 minutes to go and start the car. If I can find if I take my keys. Right back in a minute. Hey, I'll get you something to eat. Okay, Okay, so um, let's solve these unsolved riddles that I went down. So here goes back to the Mayans. 260 days. From counting to New Zealand, okay, 260. 13 letters, 20 average. All the houses are 20. All the houses are 20, right? 21, communication coming with inside the house. Is it splitting up the house? If it's splitting it up, it's splitting it up between you. Okay. At the beginning of this, I wanted to do Canada, USA. Well, CAN already shows me this number over here. It shows me the same number over here, tells me about a split sun. It also tells me about Aquarius and Pisces. This is also telling me about Jacob's ladder, 11, 11, 11. It's telling me about the house of bait. I know it has to do with electricity, 975. We have to make all our numbers in order to bring back formation. Make all your numbers look like 1 or 10, 13, okay? Make it look like 13. This is what you have to do. This is what, actually, this is not what you have to do. This is what they're doing. And I'm doing a shout out. I'm doing another shout out. Let me see if I have it here. Oh, yes. Anybody want to send me a case of these, like 50 or 60 of them? I love these pens. Anybody wants, I'm doing a shout out, wants to send me a 24 pack, but these kind, all the other ones are garbage, very close to this one. Okay. Anybody wants to send me some books like that? Not 240 pages, not 120 pages. If they're not exactly like this, a different color with the small squares like this, it doesn't help me out. My mind can't think properly. Am I picky? I've been doing it. I got the hundreds and hundreds of these books, and I know what my mind likes. You know, I don't mind having a few more of these too, just to fool around with. I got a dozen calculators. Never enough. So we're just going to get back. The word spirit is 91. We have 13 cards per suit. We have 4 suits. Remember, we only need 3 of the suits. We don't need all 4 of the suits. We can have any 3 of the suits when going around. 4 is complete, right? 4 is going to be complete. Now, there's different games. There's different games that'll tell you how many do I need. How many do I need, right? Like if I have an ace, how many aces should I get? Because of the game of because of the game of canasta, it told me don't go out until you have at least 5 aces to open up. Minimum 4, right? Because you don't want to get, but opening up is okay. But if you're going to, after when you open up aces, you don't want to do less than 5 aces into the game. The jacks, the value of the jacks is just like a regular card. They have the 6s, a regular card. So there's a whole bunch of rules and regulations going on in the game of canasta. Fantastic game. It would be great to put my mind, make some time, create some time for myself. I'm the only one that interferes with myself 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Other than the obstructions I create for myself that take me away from what I should be doing to what I think I should be doing to what maybe I'm doing. Let me look. Whoop. I just had 37 new. I just want to go through this. Yes, Mass Sam. Yes. When Uncle Sam is calling you, right? Why don't you think of this? Spirit, right? Uncle Sam calls, right? Sam. Have anybody ever heard of a 211? right? Maybe one of the reasons you don't break it down is to remind you, right? Not breaking down 11 is because they're reminding you. Like number 29, right? Don't break it down. Keep it as an 11. 2 and 9 is 11. Don't break it down. The 2 is already within the 9. So why not break down 3 and 8 equals to 11? Because that's the base creation. Well, what about a 4 and 7? Well, everything runs in that rotation. What about 5 and 6? Can we break that down? That's part of the student. The in the game of craps that I showed before, it would be regarded as they keep calling out yo 11, yo 11, right? I'm not really sure if to remember what yo means, but 11 is supposed to be 11, but in French it sounds like the student. I'm just trying to look again inside of this, communicate. Just let me look inside of this. So yeah, so we had the 315, the 315. So again, this is back to Canada, USA. Okay. You had just trying to remember, there was a word I stopped saying for one reason. Yes. Spirit Angel Man, Sam. 39, the angel, the 7th inning stretch. The 7th inning stretch is the heart of the zodiac signs, right? Where they meet at 6.5 and 6.5, 11, 11. When you're meeting between Libra, okay, if you want to think about Libra, and let's do this. When you meet Libra and Virgo meets, it's 11, 11. So if they're meeting during the day, right? If they're meeting during the day, this would be what, 4 o'clock in the afternoon, 4 to 6, 4 to 6, 6 to 8. Let's see how this ends up. So we have 10 o'clock, we have 8 o'clock, we have 6 o'clock, we have 4 o'clock. This one's going to be Sagittarius. No, this one's going to be this one's going to be Sagittarius from 10 to 12. From 8 to 10, it's going to be Scorpio. From 6 to 8, it's going to be Libra. And 4 to 6, it's going to be Virgo. So if you're going out for an afternoon, right, the time between the happy hour is going to be between Virgo and Scorpio is the happy hour, the balance of Libra. They're going to be number 1111, meeting creation, meeting within creation at this hour over here. Right? It starts just after Leo. Where do I get 11? This is the 7th zodiac sign. This is the 6th zodiac sign. 7 and 6, okay, equals to 13. But when you're meeting at 6 and 6, the halfway point, right, is what? Between 6.6, right? Is that not the answer? 6.5 and 6.5 is 13, right? 6 and 5 is 11. 6 and 5 is 11. Although you saw 13, you now have MK coming into the feet. Your creation comes into this feet over here. That's where you end up getting that. I know it's a little confusing, but those are the actual true numbers. Back to this piece over here. You have the first part of the alphabet. You have the second part of the alphabet. Second part of the alphabet, 2 through 6. 3, 4, and 5 are involved, equals to the 60 seconds on the clock. The 12 zodiac signs match up over here. There's 13 letters. The house is broken up into 20s. You can now have 3 20s for the 60 seconds on the clock for the lower house and the upper house. 3 times 20 is 60. 3 by 13 is 39. The upper house is going to be 39. The lower house will be 21. Let me show you. What is 1 and 6, 7? What is 3 and 4, 7? What is 2 and 5, 7? What is 1 and 6, 7? What is 2 and 5, 7? What is 3 and 4, 7? To the lower house. The upper house is 7 and 6, 13. 9 and 4, 13. 8 and 5, 13. 39 over 21, the difference between the two houses. The difference is 18 high, 18 luck. The difference here is 100. What's the difference here? 100 and, or 100 and what? 170? 170? I had made a mistake in another one now that I'm seeing this. It's going to be 100. Is it 159? Why am I having trouble marking this? 351, 160, 169. Yes. Oh, and I erased the other piece. The difference is 169, 13 by 13 between these two, the lower house and the upper house. So do we want to see if there's a place we can find this? Let's take a look. I'm going to have to get my work in order because this is definitely not even close to being in order. Not happy the way I tailed off in this. I petered it off. I was showing you about 4 and 1 and 3 and 2 before, and because I couldn't find the image, I skipped over it. Not a good thing on my part. Okay, here it is. Remember I said 3, 2, 3, 2, 3, 2? This would be Isaac's house. Abraham's house would say 4, 1, but it wouldn't look like this. I'm going to have to show you another picture. So what this is this is a 13 by 13 diagram area. When I said the alphabet is missing by 169, it's missing by exactly this board. So if I had to slip this board, okay, onto this face, I'd have to have 168, okay, by 4 sides. So let me see if I can get 168 times 4 equals to I'd have, just let me see a second, 168 times 6. There would be 1,008 area spaces plus 6 equals to 1014. Now, I'm not sure what that, I know where that number goes, but I'm not happy with explaining it. I mean, it's a communication number, 1014. It's been crowned, but I don't like that. Just to show you what was missing in this reality. I brought Sagittarius to the goat before. I balanced off of Libra and Virgo, but the whole scale had to start between Capricorn. Let me see. Hold on. Did I get that right? No. Leo, Virgo, Libra, Capricorn. I should have had Cancer with that. Why didn't I have Cancer? Let me see why. 6, Scorpio. I don't have Sagittarius. Sagittarius is here. I'm not happy the way I put that. 6 and 7 is what brings everything together. You need 5, okay, over here, and you need to start over here. Scorpio is 8, 7, 6. With 6, 5, 4, I have to add in Cancer. Anyways, I'm not going to explain that. I have to reset myself. We have 7 by 13 equals to 91. 1 through 13. 1 through 13 in the deck of cards equals to 91. The first 13 letters in the alphabet, the second 13 letters in the alphabet creates a gap of this amount. The average here is 20. The average here is 13. There's a separation of 7. This is the way the Mayan count, the same way the Mayan count. Now, I went over that twice. I was trying to push that through you. I'm not happy with my performance at this point. I wanted to speak about one little tiny piece. This over here is a plug. It could be the Aries plug or the Ram plug. In French, when you say this, it's a plug-in. I use this over here to understand the 84 cycle of the 3 by 28 moon days that go by, or the 4 times 21, what it'll take the cube to get by. I need 4 by 21 to complete the cycle between the cube and the 3-part 28 days of the moon. Remember, On the 87th, if you went down, you will never run to this number. The highest number you will get in pregnancy is 29 in this. The difference in that is 55. Remember I said Sky Pass and Freedom, right? Sky Pass and Freedom is once you get to the 84th day and the 91st day, the child starts to have its own beat within the breath. 13 by 28, the 13 moons of 28 days. The 91, which is 13 times 7, 91 to create the cycle. It's the 5 times 5 times 5, okay, is that last day. It's your communication network. So we did this entire thing. We brought the egg, the sperm, the moon into the split heavens. It's 2 moons. 1 moon to the point, 1 moon on each leg. The oxen. Orpheus, the 13th sign, because we have come into the game for land animal. Knock that up for Pisces, for land, animal, and man. 66, bring the egg to the sperm. You see the egg and the sperm is 71. We split this area of 7 to bring it through the gateway of communication. The minion of 10. The yo of the student, Y and O, representing Earth and Mars, the 25th letter and the 15th letter. That's not in this. This was for a different reality. This is 5 by 5 equaling to 25. Earth 25, Mars 15. Yo, bringing it on into the sun. This will now represent the sun. In this over here, Mars is going to say we represent the sun. You're 150, bringing in your vibration. This is the game of pool. This is going to be electric company. And this is going to be with the sun, the game of darts, right? The game of darts. There's a heart in the game of darts. Imagine that. They cut out a heart into the game of darts. And I guess that's the last piece. I just want to see what I went over last night. All the cycles of 13 and 31. I don't know if you're really going to be able to follow it. The dice cube is made up by, each face is 9. Each face is 9. Each face has an average of 5. Think of this for the next time I come up. Each face is 9. Each face is 45. Each face is every single game that you can ever put upon a face. Monopoly is 169. Put it upon a face. The pool, okay, we can't put pool. I could put 9 over here. I could put the calculator over here. I could put the average of 5 as there's 9 areas, right? So we have to understand this cube. There's no more than 3 areas. There was one other piece I wanted to talk about, just very, very slightly. Again, back to the Hebrews where they go 9, or they go 9 and 6, or they go 9 and 7, and then they go 10 and 7. Very much has to be understood. If you ever call anybody a piece of SH, that is just a very important word. It's actually, I look at Pisces coming through the 7th gate. Just let me look and see what's going on over here. I have a bunch of other things, but we're going to leave it for next time. We're going to end it here. Thank you very much for being here, but let me take a look through these comments. Yeah, we're not reducing. They reduced 10 to a 1. Are they reducing 10 to a 1 and not 11 to a 2? Because once you have 11, you're split up into 2 houses. Are they reducing everything to 1 because it's automatic to know that it's 1 and all, and that 1 is the heart of 0, right? The O letter, you can close it this way to look like a 1, or you can close it this way to look like a 1. Either you're awake or you're asleep. Yeah, 201, I always like the 201. It reminds me of, again, of 20 and 10 both at the same time. So they're going to express, in 10, you're going to express your 60s. In 20 and 10, you're going to express your 90s. So again, in rotation of, with the 10, you're going to express your 60s, including the 7th gate, because it takes 60 and 10 to get to 70 in French. When you're going to go to 90s, you're going to use your 4 times 20 and 1 And when you do that, it's also going to sound like 94. So you jump right away into Uranus. And when you jump into Uranus, which is the value of let me write this down. No, it's going to jump me back to Pluto. 91, 91, 31. 91, 91, 91. 4 by 2011. I have to look at that again. Pi 16 looks like a pig. Absolutely. I don't know why Christmas 2552 Jack and Earth will end up saying Christmas, and again back to the 33 and 22, 33 22. I'm gonna have to look back why I did. Yes, 22 for go. Yes. I like to use the B. Yes, I can use the B to go to the moon. Yes. Yeah, 3113 black cats equal to a golden dog. Oh, I like that. The gold is 38, the black cats is 24. I'd have to calculate. You see, you have 3 and 3 going over to 6. So when you have your 2 3s going over to 6, it's 1.5 times 4. So we also have to understand how our numbers meet other numbers. And then we'll take a look at whether or not it's going to have a meaning. And so far, it's had a meaning right from the beginning. Anything times 1.5, it's going to be bringing your balance over to Mars, or your balance from Mars over to Earth. 1.5 times the difference. AG is 1 and 7. I can also look at it as, you can look at it as 17, part of 28, which 7 times 4 equals to 28. 7 and 4 equals to 11 and 28 equals to 39 minus 11 equals to 17. Yeah, so there's dot and there's dash. There's dot and there's also blemish if you want. And there's also a line. And not only is there a stand, but there's also a rest. Right? Now, I'm not sure if it's to arrest or arrest, like a heart attack, right? When God rests on the 7th day, when someone has a heart attack, they call it either the land. They call it, let me put the cuff on you. When you're under arrest, it could be a heart attack is an arrest. It has to be a heart attack. The house is under arrest. So yeah, so I'm down to the end. I want to thank everybody for being here. There were others that wanted to come up, but I really didn't have any time today. I'm going to be back this afternoon, probably in an hour or two. And if you have any questions, any words, and anyways, if you like it to help out the channel, I can leave this on in the background. I find it really silly to put this on in the background and just leave. So I'm going to try and see if I can just. That's not what I wanted to put up. What is this? This is your 741 Sofio. Just different ways to hook it up, right? See the way I connected 1 2 1 2, and my 3 didn't come out because 1 2 equals 3, 4 5 equals 9, 7 8 equals 6, and then you have the 10 area, right? And that 10 area is going to go back with the 2 over here. So we're going to get 1 and 1 coming in this area. Then we're going to go 4 and 5 equals to 9. Right? Actually, we should have put 2 over here. It'll be 20 20 in this area. See, the X comes in, and then if I look at it on this side, right, See the way that the marker comes in? When I keep going down, it'll end up saying 8. But in this instance, you need to understand how the omega sign, you see the omega sign going around the 5 area. So anyways, we're going to end it here. Thank you very much. If you can help out the channel, I have a link on the front page of my regular channel. See you later. Ciao. Take care, everybody.